Okay. Hello everyone. All right. So last meeting we discussed about the different types of information system. Okay. So today I will going to show you how to create a basic payroll system that can calculate the salary of an employee. Okay. So using Python. Um, So I will going to show you how to create this kind of application. Okay. Actually, this is a basic program that will calculate the gross pay of every employee based on the numbers of hours na pinasok nila, and also based doon sa kanilang rate per hour. Alright? So try natin gumawa ng program using Python na similar to this application. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is to create a project folder, okay, on our desktop. Okay, so let's say pangalanan nating payroll. Okay. All right. Then inside this folder, okay, so mag-create lang tayo ng virtual environment. So last time, pinakita ko sa inyo how to use or how to create basic Flask application. And best practice, okay, once na gumagawa daw tayo ng Flask application, so we need to create a virtual environment for that specific application. So the significance, okay, of doing that is para kapag transfer mo siya to other computer, okay, um, walang compatibility issue na mangyayari, because sometimes working doon sa current PC mo, and then nung transfer mo na siya doon sa ating other computer, minsan nagkakaroon ng issue about dun sa mga packages and libraries. So that's why to prevent that, so we need to create a virtual environment, okay, for our application, for our program. So to do that, so we need to open our command prompt. Okay. All right. Then once na naka-install na yung Python interpreter, yung Python version 3 on your computer, so just type the command pip install. Okay, but before that, so we need to navigate to our project folder. So copy lang natin yung path. Okay, then cd, then paste lang natin. Okay, so para makapunta tayo dun sa ating project folder. So once na nasa loob na tayo ng ating project folder, we can now execute the command pip install, okay, the virtual env. So this is the package or module for creating a virtual environment. Okay, then hit enter. Okay, so i-install niya si virtual environment doon sa iyong computer. Then once na natapos yan, so we can now use the command virtual env, then space yung pangalan ng environment na gusto mong gamitin. So let's say env. Okay, so but you can use any name, okay, for your virtual environment. So you can use payroll. So okay, but for this example, so let's name it as env. Then hit enter. Okay, so ang gagawin niya, magke-create siya ng folder, okay, ng pangalan ay env doon sa ating project folder na payroll. Okay, so if we're going to open this environment, actually it is consists of the two folders. So we have the library and the scripts. Okay, so inside the library folder, so dito na pupunta lahat ng mga packages or mga libraries na i-install natin doon sa ating project. So since wala pa tayong ini-install. So, ito yung default na makikita ninyo sa loob ng ating site na packages. Alright? So, what are the necessary libraries na kakailanganin natin to create a Flask application? Primarily, of course, we need to install the Flask package itself. Okay? Para maka-create tayo ng Flask application. So, to do that, using the same command, pip install. Okay, but before doing that, we need to activate first the environment. Okay, para sa loob nitong site package folder, so doon ma-save yung ating mga libraries na ini-install, including yung Flask libraries. Okay, so to activate our environment, okay, so nasa loob tayo ng payroll folder, right? So navigate lang tayo sa loob ng env. Okay, so cd env. Okay, so nasa loob na tayo ng env. Then inside the env folder, so papasok tayo sa loob ng scripts. Okay, so cd scripts. Okay, now once na nasa loob na tayo ng scripts folder, so makikita niyo dyan yung okay, yung activate na file. So ito yung i-run natin. So using command prompt, basically type mo lang activate. Then hit enter. So ang gagawin niya, i-run niya itong file na to. And then makikita mo doon sa left side ng yung terminal. So may nakalagay dyan na env, which is yung create natin na virtual environment. So meaning our application, okay, is currently using this env environment. So any libraries, any packages na i-install natin, masasave dito sa environment na to exclusively. Okay? So again, the purpose of doing that, para kapag transfer natin yung ating project to other computer, so same pa din yung kanyang yung mga files and libraries na gagamitin. Okay? So once na na-activate na natin yung ating virtual environment, so babalik lang tayo doon sa ating project folder. So cd dot dot cd dot dot. Okay, so dalawang cd dot dot para makabalik tayo dun sa ating payroll directory. Okay. Now, inside our project folder, so pwede na tayo ngayong mag-create ng ating Python file, okay, na gagamitin for our Flask application. Okay, so to do that, okay, so just type null, and then yung Python file na gusto mong i-create. So you can name it any name as you want, but for best naming convention, so sometimes pinapangalanan nilang app. Okay, app dot, okay, yung file extension natin py. So the file extension for Python is dot py. Okay, then hit enter. Okay, so ang gagawin niya, mag-create siya ng app.py or Python file doon sa ating project folder. So this will be, and this will serve as our entry point, okay, para dun sa ating program. Okay? Alright. Now, once na na-create na natin yung ating Python file, so we can use any text editor to insert, okay, yung ating code sa loob ng file na to. So you can use any text editor like Atom, okay, Visual Studio Code, or even Notepad++, okay? But currently, I'm using Atom. So ang gagawin ko, i-double click ko lang itong file na to. Okay. So once na open na, so we can now type our Python code inside this file. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is to import, okay, the Flask. Okay. So hindi pa natin siya ini-install doon sa ating environment. Okay. So to double check, so pwede tayo pumunta doon sa ating scripts. Sorry. Sa library. side packages. So wala pa tayong Flask library na naka-save or naka-install doon sa ating site packages. That's why, ang gagawin natin, install muna natin siya. Okay, so to do that, pip install. Okay, then yung pangalan ng package na gusto nating install. So, which is a Flask. So, na-discuss ko na sa inyo na last time that Flask is a micro framework that we can use to create web application, okay, using Python. So this is one of the most popular framework for creating a web application using Python. Okay, aside sa Django. Okay. All right. So once na install na, so makikita niyo dyan sa baba, successfully installed. So these are the core um, libraries na meron sa loob ng Flask. So we have the Jinja 2, we have the markup shape, okay, and so on. Okay, so once na na-install na yan, so pwede na natin siyang gamitin doon sa ating program. So to do that, so we need to type, okay, yung statement for importation. So we have from. So from Flask, libraries na in-install natin. So see, okay, nag-appear na or na-save na yung Flask package nun sa ating project folder. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin nito, from Flask, o sa loob ng Flask, okay? So, i-import natin, okay, si Flask class. Okay? So, type nyo lang, Flask, na uppercase yung letter F. So, ang ibig sabihin yan, tinatawag natin si Flask na class doon sa ating app.py. Okay, so saan natin gagamitin si Flask class? So this class, ito yung gagamitin natin to create a Flask application. Okay, that's why this line is very important. Okay, so after typing, so we can save. Okay, so save na muna natin. So check natin kung properly working yung ating Flask libraries. Okay, so you can save it, Control S, and then let's go back to our command prompt. Okay. So, ang gagawin lang natin, iraran lang natin itong Python file na to, okay, using the command Python, then yung pangalan ng ating Python file, app.py. But you need to make sure na nasa loob tayo ng payroll folder. Okay. So, para ma-execute natin itong app.py. Okay. Then hit enter. Okay. So, once na walang lumabas na error, okay, so it means properly na naka-install na yung Flask libraries dun sa ating project. Okay? Now, so to create a basic Flask application, so these are the code. Okay? So we need to create an object ng pangalan ng app. Okay, using this class. Okay, so sabihin lang natin Flask double underscore name and double underscore. So the meaning of this statement, we are creating an object na ang pangalan ay app. So any properties and methods na meron dito sa class na to, okay, magagamit natin, okay, sa object na app. Okay, so if you're already familiar with object-oriented programming, so ang tawag dito ay instantiation. Okay, instantiation. Okay, ang hirap pangitin. Okay, we are just creating an object na ang pangalan ay app. So any properties and methods na nasa loob ng class na to, so may inherit or magamit natin sa loob ng app object. Okay? Hindi ko ma-pronounce yung term eh. Instantiation. Okay? Instantiation. Yeah. in OOP. Okay? Okay, instantiation is the realization of predefined object, meaning you are creating an object using a class. So, anong pangalan ng class natin? Si class. Okay, so hindi ko na kailangan i-explain yan. Alright, so once na create na natin yung ating app object, so ang gagawin natin, since this is a web application, alright, we need to create a route para dun sa ating app. So when we say route, using browser, okay, gagamit tayo ng localhost server to access this application. So to do that, so type lang natin @app, okay, yung pangalan ng ating object, okay, dot route, okay, then open and close parentheses, then inside this parentheses, yung ating initial route, okay, which is /. Okay, / means the initial landing page ng ating application. Okay. Then, under this code, this statement, so define lang tayo ng function. So using def, then yung ating function name. Okay, so you can name it as index. Okay. Then colon. Then ano yung gusto mong i-return once na in-access natin yung ating initial route. Okay. So let's say display lang tayo ng hello world. Okay. So ibig sabihin yan, once na may nag-access ng ating application using our browser, so at in-access niya yung ating initial route, okay? Yung immediate function na nasa baba nitong route na to, okay? Automatically i-execute niya, okay? So ibig sabihin, iraran niya itong function index at magre-return siya ng string value na hello world, okay? Kaya mamaya once na niran natin yan, so makikita ninyo, nalalabas yung string na hello world dun sa ating web page, okay? But okay, para ma-run natin itong application na to, so we need to type app .run. So that run is a method, okay, na ginagamit ni Flask to create a server, a local host server doon sa ating computer. Then it will provide us an IP using port number 5000. So yun yung ita-type natin sa ating browser. Okay? So that's it. So save lang. Okay, so once na save na, okay, so ang gagawin natin, ira-run lang natin yan using our command prompt. Okay, using the same command, Python app.py. Again, you need to make sure na nasa loob kayo ng project folder ninyo. Okay. So enter. Alright. So once na nakita ninyo na serving Flask app, okay, running on HTTP 127.0.0.1 using the port number 5000, meaning running na yung ating web applications. So the only thing that you need to do is to open your browser, okay, and then type, okay, yung IP na pinrovide niya, 127.0.0.1, and we need to specify the port number, which is 5000. So type lang natin 127.0.0.1, then port 5000. Then hit enter. Okay. So see? So nag-display yung message na hello world. Okay. So once sa pinalit ng ko to, say, change it. Okay. Nung pangalan ko. So Jaron Olympia. So once na ni-refresh natin yan, but before doing that, save. Okay. So you need to restart the server. To do that, Control-C. Okay, so that is the shortcut, Control-C. Okay, so babalik tayo dun sa terminal. Then again, Python space app.py. Okay, so i-restart niya yung server, then babalik na tayo dun sa ating web page, then refresh. Okay, so see, nagbago na yung ating output. Okay, so this is the basic codes for creating um, web application using Flask. All right, now try natin, okay, na mag-create ng sample program. So yung pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, which is a basic payroll calculator. Okay, that will accept inputs using form, okay, from the user. So magta-type lang daw si user ng numbers of hours na pinasok niya, and then magkano ba yung rate ng employee. Then using button, so automatic ika-calculate niya na yung salary ng ating employee. Okay. So to do that, okay, so since gagamit tayo ng form, okay, doon sa ating application, so actually, pwede tayo mag-display ng HTML code, okay, doon sa ating um, initial route, okay? So let's say, instead of plain string, so gusto ko mag-display ng HTML element. Okay, halimbawa, H1, okay? Yeah, that is possible. So ang gagawin niya, gagawin niyang heading yung string na hello world. So let's save it, save, then run our server again. Okay. Para hindi ka pa ulit-ulit na nagre-restart ng server, so mapapansin mo dito sa output natin, we have the debug mode. Okay, initially, or in default, nakaset yan as off. So you can turn it on, okay, para every time na magsisave ka doon sa code, so you don't need to restart the server. Automatic siya na mismo yung magre-restart, okay, on itself. Okay? So ang ginagawa kasi natin, every time we make changes dun sa ating code, i-restart natin yung server para mag-take effect yung ating ginawang changes. Now, to do that, para hindi na tayo nagre-restart, so we can activate the debug mode by just typing debug, okay, doon sa loob ng app.net run, debug is equal to true. Okay, so ang gagawin niya, i-activate niya yung debug mode, okay, so that every time we make changes dun sa ating code, na hindi na natin kailangan i-type pa yung Python, the app.py. Okay, so makikita mo dyan, nakalagay debugger is active. Now, once na nag-change tayo doon sa ating code, halimbawa, hello worlds, then we save it. See, automatic nag-re-restart na yung ating server. Okay, so pwede mo na siyang i-minimize, but don't close this terminal. Okay, kasi pag close niyo itong terminal na to, hindi mo na ma-access yung application using our browser. Okay, so minimize na lang natin. Okay, then let's go back. So let's use HTML tag h1, okay, para i-display yung hello world na message dun sa ating web page. Okay, so save. Balik tayo dun sa ating application. Refresh. So see, instead of plain text na hello world, so element na h1 yung kanyang ni-render. Okay, so if we're going to check, okay, the element of this code, so ayan, no? So we have h1. Okay, so any HTML, any valid HTML element, so we can use inside, okay, doon sa ating return statement. Okay, basta nasa loob siya ng double quote. Okay, so you can use paragraph. Okay, so paragraph. Okay, then save. See? Okay, so we have our second element. So this is a paragraph. So you can use HTML, okay, tags inside nung double quote. Then kung ano yung mga tags na ginamit mo, yun din yung mag-a-appear dun sa ating page. Alright? So actually, pwede kang maglagay ng new line. But in Python, kung gusto mong maglagay ng new line, okay, gagamit ka ng tatlong single quote. Okay, tatlong single quote. So instead of double quote. So this is a string as well. Kaso nga lang, ang pinagkaiba niya, you can add um, spacing and new line dun sa code mo. Okay? So once na sinave natin yan, so it will give us the same result. Okay? So ano-ano pa ba yung mga sample HTML natin? Okay? So we have image, right? Okay. So we have image. So try natin maghanap ng image online. Okay. So let's say ito. So right click, copy image address. Then i-paste lang natin doon sa loob ng SRC. So save. Then refresh. See? Okay? So nag-appear yung ating image. So not only HTML, no, we can also use CSS, okay, for styling. Halimbawa, you want to resize, okay, the height and width of this particular image. So using inline style, so we have width, right? Width, say 100 pixel, then height. So we need to put semicolon height, say 100 pixel. Okay, then save. Okay, so yun, ni-resize niya yung ating image. So pwede din kayong gumamit ng CSS or inline styling doon sa ating um, return statement. Okay, basta nasa loob siya ng tatlong single quote. Okay? So pwede ring JavaScript. Say, gusto natin mag-display ng alert message. So sa loob ng script tag, sasabihin mo lang alert, sample alert. Okay, so using the function alert, okay, so magpa-pop up siya ng message na sample alert nun sa ating screen. So this is a JavaScript code. So save. Let's run it again. See? All right. So nag-pop up yung message na sample alert. Okay. So meaning we can we can render any codes using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. So we can so pwede natin gawing ganito. Okay. But this is very very impractical. Okay. Since we all know a page or a website or web application is consists of multiple lines of code. So parang ang pangit naman na nakaganito siya. Okay? So parang ang na-confused na nandito yung ating mga HTML codes including CSS and JavaScript. Okay? Why not? Okay, i-save natin siya sa isang HTML5, HTML file. Yeah, that is possible. And then i-import na lang natin siya dito sa ating Python code. Okay? So to do that, okay, gagamit tayo ng another um, class. Okay? So si class or method. Okay, so gagamit tayo ng method na render template. So si render template, so ang ginagawa niya, nasa loob din yan ng Flask package. So you can use it by adding quit. Okay, so ibig sabihin dalawang class na yung ating ginagamit. So we have the Flask class and we have the method. Actually, this is a method. Okay, method render template. Okay, so para magamit natin sa render template, so maglagay ka lang ng quit and type mo lang render template. So ang ginagawa ni render template, we can save our HTML code sa loob ng HTML file. And then, i-render natin siya using this method. Okay? So, ang kailangan daw natin gawin, doon sa ating project folder. So, punta tayo doon sa ating project folder. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo lang, create ka lang ng folder na ang pangalan ay template. Okay? Then, inside this folder, okay? So, inside this folder, so you can create an HTML file. Pangalanan nating index.html. And save. Okay, then i-open natin siya using Atom. Okay. Alright, so ulitin ko. Sa loob ng project folder, mag-create ka lang ng folder na ang pangalan ay template. Okay. Then inside the template folder, mag-create ka lang ng HTML file. You can name it as index.html. Okay. Then, inside this index.html, okay, yung mga HTML codes na nare-render natin kanina, so hindi na natin dito ilalagay. Okay, so ang gagawin natin, ika-cut natin yan. Okay, and then, ipipaste natin doon sa loob ng index.html. Okay, then save. Then balik tayo dun sa app.py. So instead of using direct HTML codes dito sa loob ng tatlong double quote ng ating return statement. So, tatawagin natin si render template. Okay, so gagamitin natin si render template. So, this is a method. Then, magpasa ka lang sa kanya ng string value. Okay, so ano yung string value na ipapasa mo? Okay, yung pangalan ng HTML file na create natin, which is si index.html. Okay, so type lang daw natin index.html. Okay, so ang gagawin niya, hahanapin niya sa loob ng template folder, okay, yung HTML file ng pangalan ay index.html. And then, just ito yun. And then, any codes na nasa loob ni index.html, yun yung i-render niya doon sa ating web page. Alright? So, para organized. Okay? So, let's save it. Save. Save. Okay? Let's go back to our web page, then refresh. Okay, so we have an error. Okay, template not found. Okay, so let's check kung nasaan yung error. I think this is plural, so templates. Okay, so double check, save. So render template. Okay, so run it again. All right, so see? So it will give us the same output. Okay, so yung problem pala is, yeah, kulang na S. So templates yung ating ipapangalan ng folder. So inside the templates folder, so dun mo ilalagay yung, okay, bakit dalawa to? So sa loob ng templates folder, so doon mo i-save yung index.html na gusto mong i-render doon sa ating application. Okay? Alright, so once na binago natin to, okay, we make, my name, Jeron, Olympia, and save, then refresh, okay, alright, again, save, ano yung problem niya? Bakit nagdodoble? Oh, sorry. So ulitin nga natin, save, and save. Restart natin yung server. Refresh. Okay. So, lagyan natin ng S. Okay. So, hindi nag-reload kasi itong index. So, reload natin. Okay. So, this time, Jeron Olympia, yung value ng H1. So, dapat yan din yung mag-output or magre-reflect sa ating code. See? Okay. So, hindi lang na-reload yung index.html. Kaya nag-create siya ng another folder. So, that's it. Okay? Para organize yung ating code, so we can create a templates folder. Then inside that templates folder, so doon mo ilagay lahat ng HTML codes mo na gustong i-render doon sa ating web page. And then, doon sa ating app.py, so ang tawag dito is controller. And doon sa ating app controller, tawagin mo lang si render method. Okay? Then, after ng return keyword, so sabihin mo lang render template. Then, sa loob, okay, yung HTML file na gusto mong i-display. Okay? So, that's how we render HTML file dun sa ating Flask application. Okay. Now, since sabi natin, gagawa tayo ng form, okay, so meaning, gagamit tayo ng form sa loob ng index.html. Okay? So, baguhin natin yung ating code. So, maglagay tayo ng head para standard yung ating code. And title. Pangalanan natin payroll, calculator. And we have body. Then inside the body, gawa lang tayo ng form. Okay, then inside the form, yung mga text boxes na gagamitin natin. Again, so kailangan natin ng text box, okay, para sa rate na employee. So rate per hour, magkano ba yung sahod niya? Okay? Per hour, kung hourly yung kanyang rate. Okay? So create lang tayo ng text box, then lagyan natin ng placeholder na hour, then bigyan natin siya ng name na let's say rate. Okay. Then, so another text box para sa numbers of hours. Okay. Of work. Okay. How many hours ba nag-work yung ating employee? Okay. So, pwede natin pangalan ng hours. So, this is important, no, na bibigyan natin ng name yung ating mga text boxes para mamaya, kapag sinubmit natin yung form, kukunin natin yung value nitong text box, mga text boxes na to using their name. Okay, so kumpletuhin lang natin ano pa ba yung mga required na hinihingi. Okay, so numbers of hours, rate per hour, numbers of hours, what else? Allowance, right? So kung may allowance yung employee, magkano? So pangalanan natin siyang allowance. Okay. Then of course, yung mga contribution, SSS, contribution. So bigyan natin siya ng name na SSS. So ang ginagawa natin, nag-create lang tayo ng mga text boxes. Mamaya, makikita ninyo yung output. So PhilHealth. Yung pangalan natin, PhilHealth. What else? Pag-ibig. Okay, so pag-ibig. Contribution. So these are the contributions na binabayaran ng isang typical employee. What else? Okay, so let's check. Okay, so gawin lang natin save. Okay. Alright, save. Balik tayo sa web page. So this time dapat makikita natin mga text boxes na yung magiging output. Alright, so we have an error. Okay, we don't have closing title tag. So save. Alright, see, we have the rate per hour, hour of work, allowance, contribution, PhilHealth, and pag-ibig. Okay. Then of course, we need to have a button. Okay, na gagamitin natin. Once na pinindot yung button na yan, isasubmit niya yung ating form. So we have a button. Let's say compute. Okay, and save. There, so we have the compute button. Now, so the next thing, much better siguro kung naka-block kayo yung ating mga text boxes na para hindi siya horizontal. Okay, so to do that, since this is an HTML code, so we can use style tag, okay, CSS. Okay, so define lang tayo ng class. Okay, na ang pangalan ay let's say form input. So sabihin lang natin display block. Okay. Alright, then implement lang natin itong class na to sa lahat ng text boxes. So I assume you already know how to use CSS and how to use class in CSS. Okay. So save it again, save. Then refresh. All right, so yon. Naka vertically aligned na yung ating mga text boxes. Much better if meron siyang margin. Bigyan natin siya ng margin na 5 px. Oops. Semicolon. Okay, so para merong margin yung ating mga text boxes. Then, much better din siguro kung merong border yung ating form. Okay, so define tayo ng another class. Form. Pangalan natin payroll. Form payroll. Okay, so the property for that is border. Okay, solid. 1px, yung kaniyang border width. Then, color black. Okay. Then, implement lang natin itong class na to sa loob ng ating form. Okay. So, save. Refresh. Okay, so we have the border. Okay, so litan lang natin width. Say 30%. Okay, so since maliit lang naman yung ating form. Oops. So not there. Yung sa ating payroll. So lagay natin sa taas. Save. Alright. Okay, then gawin natin 100% yung width ng ating mga text boxes. Okay, then lagyan natin to ng padding para hindi masyadong nakadikit. Say 25 px. Okay, good, nice. Then, maganda rin siguro kung meron siyang header. So, gamit tayo ng H1. Sabihin lang natin payroll calculator. There, okay? So, i-center lang natin H1, H1, text, align, center. Okay, so, para naka-center yung ating H1, save. Alright, so that's it. Now, so lagay natin tong button dun sa right side. So to do that, okay. So, pwede tayo mag-define ng button submit. Okay. Then, sabihin lang natin float right. So, para nasa right side siya. Okay. Then, gamitin lang natin dito. Save. Okay, so yun. So, nasa right side na siya. Then, lakihan natin yung padding. Yan. Okay, good. Nice. So, hindi na muna tayo magfo-focus sa design, no? Ang importante. So, we have a form. We have text boxes. Okay. Then, we have our button for submission. So, ang gusto ko mangyari, once na pinindot ko yung button na compute, but first of all, we need to provide the rate per hour. Halimbawa, 100, numbers of hours of work, let's say 20, then meron siyang allowance na 1,000, contribution na 200. So this is just an example, no? 200, 100. Okay? So once sa pinindot ko yung compute, so ang gagawin niya, ika-calculate niya yung total net pay ng ating employee. Okay? So we need to know the formula of doing that. So actually, Ang gagawin lang natin dyan is i-multiply lang natin yung rate per hour, okay, doon sa numbers of hours. Then, i-add natin yung value ng allowance. Okay? And then, yun yung kanyang magiging gross pay. Alright? And then, i-add natin yung contribution, yung SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig. Okay? And then, i-minus lang natin dun sa gross pay. Then, yung result, yung result is yun na yung net pay. Okay? Yun na yung marireceive ng ating employee. But how can we do that? Okay. So how can we submit this form? Okay. Paano natin masasubmit yung data coming from this form papunta doon sa ating app controller? Okay. Because inside this controller, so dito natin gagawin yung ating calculation. Okay. So to do that, doon sa ating form, we need to specify what method yung gusto nating gamitin. When we say method, okay, dalawa yan. It's either post or get. Okay? So once na get, yung ginamit nating method, isasubmit niya lahat ng information from this text box. Isa-save niya sa URL. Okay? Lahat ng data na ipoprovide natin, okay, isa-save niya doon sa ating URL. Then yun yung marireceive ng ating app controller. Okay? So the default is get. Okay? Actually, kahit hindi mo na ilagay yung method get. Okay? So observe, once na sinave natin, okay, naglagay tayo ng value dun sa ating mga text boxes. Okay? Observe, once na pinindot ko yung compute, okay, makikita ninyo doon sa taas ng ating URL. So nag-create siya ng, so ang tawag dito is parameters. Okay? So meron tayong, parameters is just like a variable, no? Okay? So we have parameter rate, then meron siyang value na 100, which is yung tinype natin doon. Then we have, okay, then we have hours, 20, okay? So meaning, pinasa natin yung data from this form using method get. Now, dun sa server, we can handle this information, then pwede nating i-fetch or i-save one by one yung mga value niyan. Okay? But this is not a good practice in terms of submitting form that contains confidential data, including yan, yung mga rate na ganyan. Kasi nasa-save yan sa history ng ating browser. Okay? So makikita niyo once na click ko to, ayun no. Okay, naka-record siya doon sa ating history. Now, hindi tayo gagamit ng method get. Instead, ang gagamitin natin is yung secure method, which is si method post. Okay? So, ang gagawin niya, isasubmit niya itong form na to using method post without, okay, putting all the information doon sa ating URL. Alright? So, this is much secure na compared kay method get. Okay? So, aside sa method, we need to specify yung value ng action. Okay? So, what route ba, okay, yung gusto mong i-activate? Okay? Since isasubmit natin itong form na to, okay, any value ng action na ipoprovide natin, so doon niya tayo i-redirect. Okay? Halimbawa, we use the /submit. Okay? So, mangyayari niyan, papalitan niya, okay, yung ating location from initial route from / to submit. Okay? Kaya makikita ninyo, so try natin. 100. So type lang tayo na any random value. Okay, so isasubmit niya itong form na to. Alright, so see. So dinala niya tayo sa /submit page. Okay? But since doon sa ating application, wala pa tayong route, wala pa tayong page na create for submit, kaya ang sinabi niya dyan, not found. Okay? So ang gagawin lang natin, mag-create lang tayo ng route para dito sa submit. Okay? By just copying yung ginawa natin doon sa initial route. Okay? So copy lang daw natin to. Then paste. Okay? Now, i-specify natin um, doon sa ating pangalawang route. Okay? Yung route na submit. Ibig sabihin, once na yung user tinawag, okay, etong route na to, si /submit, yung immediate function sa baba niyan, yun yung kanyang i-activate. Okay? So, pangalanan din natin tong submit. So, hindi kasi pwede magkaroon ng magkaparehas na route function. Okay? So, pangalanan natin submit. Alright, then try natin mag-display ng message na say, you submitted this form. Okay. So, try natin. Save. Once na pumunta tayo sa route na submit, iraran niya itong function na to, then i-display niya yung message na you submitted this form. So, this is just a sample para makita natin na gumagana yung route submit. So, refresh lang natin to. Okay, so see? So, nag-display yung message na in-specify natin kanina. You submitted this form. Yeah? We can create multiple routes doon sa ating application, doon sa ating controller. So, basta ang gagawin mo lang, specify mo lang doon sa ating route, yung route na gusto mong gamitin, halimbawa. So, this is another route for about. Okay? So, i-display niya yung about page. Okay? Save. Then pag pumunta tayo sa about, okay, sabihin niya about. Okay? Or about page. See? Okay? Kaya pwede kang mag-create ng multiple routes para dun sa application mo. Okay? Halimbawa, meron kang about page. Okay? So, ang gagawin mo, isa-save mo yung about page doon sa loob ng templates folder kasama ng mga HTML files natin. Okay? So, pangalanan natin about. I-edit din natin siya. Maglagay lang tayo ng sample message. So, let's say, this program developed by yung pangalan ninyo. Okay, Jeron. Okay. So inside our templates folder, we already have two static pages, two HTML pages. Then, kapag may nag-access ng about, so again, using the same method. So this time, tatawagin natin si about gets. Okay, so save. Okay, so this program developed by Jeron. Kung ano yung laman nung about.html natin. Okay? So you can add multiple pages dun sa ating application. Okay? But since ang ginagawa natin gusto nating makuha. Okay, so ilagay natin ito sa baba. Okay, so lagyan natin ng comment. So ang comment sa Python ay hashtag. Okay. So this route is for landing for payroll form. Okay. Then itong second route. So this route is for about page. Okay. Then this route is for form submission. Okay. So since na-activate na natin si submit route, okay, using our form, after we click the button submit, so ang gagawin na lang natin, we need to get, okay, all of the data from this form for every text boxes. Okay. So using yung name ng bawat text boxes. So kanina, pinangalanan natin, right? One by one, yung ating mga text boxes. So yung first text box, ang pangalan niya ay rate. We have hours, we have allowance, we have SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig. So ang gagawin lang natin, using their names, okay, okay. But before that, so kailangan nating specify doon sa submit route which method yung ginamit natin doon sa ating submission. So we use post, right? Kaya ang gagawin natin, so sabihin din natin sa kanya para alam niya na method post yung gusto mong gamitin. So methods with S. Then magpasa lang tayo ng array, okay, na merong laman na post. Okay, so this is an array. Then sa loob ng array, yung method na ginamit mo for your form submission, which is post. So lagay mo dyan. So kung dalawang method yung ginamit mo, kung get yung gamit mo dito, so you need to specify here, get, okay? So since post yung gamit natin, so dapat post din, yun nakalagay doon. Para alam niya kung saan niya kukunin yung mga data na gagamitin natin mamaya. Okay. So to get all of the value from these text boxes, gagamit tayo ng another this is an attribute, okay, na ang pangalan ay request. Okay, so maglagay ka lang dyan ng quit and then request. So para magamit natin si request, okay, so si request ang ginagawa niya, kinukuha niya yung value, okay, yung mga value coming from or inside ng ating form. Okay, so para daw makuha natin yung mga value ng mga text boxes. Okay, so since we are requesting, okay, doon sa server, okay, kaya ang ginagamit natin is request. Okay, so ang gagawin lang natin doon sa ating submit route. So this is similar to PHP, no? Yung paggamit natin ng, if you still remember the post, something like that. Yun yung pangalan ng text box. Okay. Sa Python, okay, using the request, request dot form, ibig sabihin, yung na-capture niya na form during the submission, ito yun. Okay, so this form, okay, so ang gagawin niya, kukunin niya yung laman. Okay, but we need to specify which data yung gagamitin natin using the name of that particular text box. Okay, so since gusto natin makuha yung rate per hour, so using yung name na rate, so specify lang natin doon sa loob ng single quote, rate. Okay. So ibig sabihin yan, sa loob ng form, hahanapin niya sino ba yung text box, okay, na merong name na rate. Okay? So which is ito yun. Okay? Then kukunin niya yung value nitong text box. Then pwede natin siyang i-assign to a variable. Okay? So whatever the value we type, okay, in this text box, doon sa ating text box rate, okay, let's say nag-type ko dyan ng 100 or 1,000, okay, or whatever. Kukunin niya yung value na yan, yung 100, then using the request.form, okay, i-assign niya kay variable rate. Okay? Kaya once na ni-return natin, so try lang natin. So once na ni-return natin yung laman nitong variable rate, so dapat ang lalabas dyan, doon sa ating page, kung ano yung tinype nating value doon sa ating text box rate per hour. Okay? So save lang natin. Refresh. So type tayo ng any number, let's say 500. Okay? So once na pinindot ko yung compute, tatawagin niya si route, submit, dadali niya tayo kay /submit. So ma-activate si route /submit. Then yung immediate function na nasa baba, si submit function, so i-execute niya, kukunin niya yung value from the text box na may name na rate, then i-assign niya kay variable rate, then i-return lang natin yung result dun sa ating web page. So compute, see? Okay, so we have an output of 500. Kung ano yung tinype natin dun sa ating text box. 800. Gets? Okay? That's why we can now accept all of the data na nasa loob ng ating form. So magre-refer lang tayo dun sa mga name na ipinangalan natin sa bawat text boxes. So kunin natin lahat. Okay, so palit-palitan lang natin. We have hours, allowance, SSS, PhilHealth, and tanggalin natin yung ano, quit, pag-ibig. Okay? So we can display it one by one to check kung gumagana. So our okay, so we have an error. Okay, so let's check. Hours. So again. Okay, so we have 10 for allowance. Okay, we have allowance. Okay, so SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, so working in. All right. So that's it. So nakuha na natin yung mga value from the text box. So we can now implement our computation for our payroll. Okay? So ang gagawin natin, kukumputin muna natin yung gross pay, then i-deduct lang natin yung mga contributions, and then i-display natin yung output dun sa ating page. Okay? So again, the formula is net pay is equal to gross pay minus deductions. Okay. So gross pay is equal to rate per hour times numbers of hours plus allowance. Okay. All right. So using this formula, so makakompute na natin yung gross pay nung or yung net pay ng ating employee. So since na-assign na natin to rate, hours, allowance, SSS, may pag-ibig. Okay. So ang gagawin lang natin following this formula, so we can define gross pay is equal to rate times yung ating hours plus kung meron siyang allowance. So ma-assign yan kay variable gross pay. Okay? Then net pay is equal to, so deduction muna. Deduction is equal to SSS plus PhilHealth plus pag-ibig. Okay? Then to get the net pay, so basically, so yung difference. Gross pay minus net pay. Okay? Then, so of course, ang i-return natin is yung net pay. Okay? So save lang natin yan. Okay? Then try natin siyang i-run ulit. So rate per hour, halimbawa 100, numbers of work, say 10 hours, so may allowance siya na 100, may contribution siya na 100, 100, 100. In total, that is 300. So once na pinindot ko yung compute, so dapat i-display niya yung net pay natin. Okay, so we have an error here. So sabi niya, can't multiply sequence by non-int. Okay, so ito yung kagandahan kay Flask. No? Once na nagkaroon ka ng error, sinasabi niya na what type of error, okay, yung problem dun sa codes mo. That's why you need to read the the error para ma-figure out natin. So since ang sabi niya, we are trying to add, okay, value na string and we use the multiply, dito yan, sa line 27. Okay? Dahil ang returning value netong statement na to is string. Okay? Dahil galing nga naman siya sa text box. So galing siya sa text box. So inassume niya na yung tinype mong value is string even if that is a number. Okay? That's why we need to convert this value to integer para magamit natin yung multiplication symbol. So to do that, gamit tayo ng casting. So i-cast lang natin yung bawat request value to int. Okay? So para ma-convert natin siya into int, at pagdating dito, magamit na natin yung mga arithmetic operators natin. Okay? So save it again. And let's go back. Okay, again. 110, 100, 100, 100, then 100. Then compute. Okay, so we have another error, net pay Okay. Now, ang lagi niyong tatandaan, ang returning value natin is kailangan string. Okay, so since dito sa part na to, siya ay, oops, this is not pay deductions. Okay, deductions. So sa part na to, integer siya, so kailangan mo siyang i-convert back to string. Tignan muna natin kung gagana na int. Okay, save. Again, never pa ako nag-run ng code ng walang error. Very ano yan, unusual. Okay, so hindi pwede na int yung i-return natin. So, kailangan natin siya i-cast again from integer to string. So, same. So, I think this time, so okay na siya. Compute. Boom. Ayan, oh. So, we have 800. Okay, so that is the gross pay na marireceive ng ating employee. Okay? Now, pwede mong lagyan yan ng HTML. So, since this is a string, right? So, string na siya. So, pwede kang maglagay dito ng HTML. Sabihin mo, the gross pay is, so gamit ka lang dito ng plus for concatenation. Yeah, that is, then i-close lang natin yung H1. Okay. Alright, so para meron siyang design kahit pa paano. The gross pay is, kung ano yung value ng net pay natin. Sorry, the net pay. Bakit gross pay? The net pay is, okay, then, ayan. Close mo lang yung H1. Okay, plus is for string concatenation. So, save. Again. Compute. Ayan. So, the net pay is 800. Okay. Then, pwede kang maglagay dyan ng A tag para kung gusto nyo bumalik. Okay. Dadali mo lang siya dun sa / dun sa initial route natin. Okay, para babalik siya dun sa form. Say compute again. Okay, close lang natin yung A. That's it. So save. Compute. Okay, so the net pay is, okay, pwede kang maglagay dyan ng PHP. Di ba? Okay. So, ayan, PHP. Then, pag pinindot mo yung compute again, so dadaling ka niya ulit dun sa payroll form. Okay. So, ganyan natin ginagamit si Flask for creating a basic web application or payroll calculator. Okay. So, ito yung kailangan ninyong sundan. Okay. So, kokopyahin nyo lang yung mga ginawa ko dito sa tutorial na to. Then, ito yung isasabit nyo sa akin sa ating Canvas activity. Okay? So, that's it. Okay, so thank you so much for listening.